Hi, my name's Sam Popovski, the Secretary of the CSIRO Staff Association. Welcome to our presentation on the EB proposal. Last year, CSIRO Executive tried to replace our enterprise agreement with a unilateral determination, and this was successfully defeated by staff. As a result, negotiations for a new enterprise agreement started in November last year, using the current enterprise agreement as a base for our clauses and schedules. Now, the new EA proposal has been approved by the Australian Public Service Commission and it's ready for an all-staff vote. The issues of Staff Association members in terms of this bargaining round, there are 6 priority key issues that members determined. The first one was to have a timely agreement in place before the expiry of the current agreement, which is in November 2020. The second issue was to have fair and reasonable pay and superannuation outcomes. Thirdly, no loss of conditions from our current enterprise agreement. 4, to update and improve EA clauses wherever possible. 5, to ensure we maintain and strengthen indefinite employment as the CSIRO standard in our agreement. And then 6, to have equitable entitlement and access to parental leave. If we look at the proposal that is now in front of staff at CSIRO, what are the main characteristics? The first one is it is a 3-year agreement that would begin in November 2020 and go through to November 2023. Of the total 94 clauses and schedules in the EA proposal, 82 are agreed with Staff Association representatives and 12 are not agreed. Existing conditions will remain in the enterprise agreement and therefore are going to be protected by law until 2023. And there's been an achievement of some modest improvements to 11 clauses, which is outlined in more detail in the Staff Association's bargaining analysis document, which can be seen on our webpage. The list of clauses that have been improved, there's a removal of the soft 3 advancement criteria, a barrier that prevented staff getting through soft level 3. There's a removal of 5-yearly reviews for soft level 7 and above staff, and only existing performance mechanisms will be used for these staff in the future. There's some increased flexibility in terms of annual performance agreement timelines and some more detail around reward assessment procedures that benefit staff. There's some improvements for staff that are shift workers in terms of recreation leave, plus a new clause on long service leave. There's also a new clause on domestic family violence and abuse support, and a strengthening, including the steps of an important procedure for staff, which is the workplace issues resolution procedure within the enterprise agreement. There's been some more reasonableness in terms of the ability for CSIRO to request staff to attend medical assessments in the EA, improve references to diversity inclusion in the context of the EA, and also specific conditions for staff at the Australian Centre for Disease Preparedness have been improved. "12 clauses are not agreed." It's important to note that of these 12, 10 clauses are actually agreements sought to the EA based on the position of Staff Association members. And one particular notable one is superannuation, where our members were seeking the provision of at least 15.4% super for all staff, regardless of choice of fund. Unfortunately, this proposal was opposed by the CSIRO Executive and has not been achieved in this round of bargaining. These 10 clauses will remain in the EA proposal, as we said, with no significant changes. So they retain the existing entitlements, which goes to one of the key priorities for our members. There are therefore only 2 of the 12 clauses that, in the Staff Association's view, represent negative outcomes to the existing EA, which is in relation to pay and postdocs. The Staff Association went to this bargaining round with a position of a pay rise of 2.7% per annum. This was the average pay rise supported by members in our survey last November. The outcome in this proposal is 2% pay rises over the 3 years of the new EA, with the first pay rise deferred by 6 months. These pay outcomes are in line with the federal government's position on pay for all Commonwealth employees. In terms of postdocs, CSIRO management actually sought changes to our existing postdoc entitlements. In the EA, the Staff Association was seeking no change to those existing conditions. There have been those changes, some negative outcomes there, although the Staff Association did manage to get some criteria to allow postdocs to be appointed to a second or consecutive postdoc in limited circumstances. So what's the overall outcome for staff against the key priorities we had for bargaining? Do we have a timely agreement proposal that would be delivered before November 2020? The answer is yes. Did we achieve fair and reasonable pay and superannuation? We believe we didn't, and there's still lots of improvements needed for CSIRO staff there in future bargaining rounds. Did we achieve no loss of conditions from the current enterprise agreement? Yes. Did we update and improve a number of EA clauses? Yes. Importantly, we've maintained indefinite employment as a default or CSIRO standard, and that's really important for strengthening our job security in the future. Did we achieve equitable entitlement and access to parental leave? Not quite. We managed to convince CSIRO management to agree to a clause that would provide that in the EA. However, this was opposed by the APSC because they considered it an enhancement. However, CSIRO management have maintained that they will provide equitable entitlements and access to parental leave through their procedures. So based on all of this information and the extensive consultation the Staff Association has done with its members over recent months, we are recommending that our members and all staff vote yes to this EA proposal. Why? Well, also it's important to note that 78% of our members supported this proposal following consultation in May this year. Since May, a minimal change has been made to the proposal by the Australian Public Service Commission, and what's now on offer is essentially what CSIRO staff or members were consulted with in May. So we do support staff to vote yes in the ballot, which closes on the 10th of September. If a majority of staff that vote support the ballot, the EA will be approved and come into place in November this year. Thank you for listening to this presentation, and to get more detail on the EA proposal and issues around bargaining, please go to the resources page on our website. Thank you.